Welcome to the Short Zone Podcast, where two short guys just talk. I'm your host, Jim Tonight.
And I'm your host, Caden Tonight.
So sit back, relax, grab a snack, and get into the zone.
Welcome to episode 2 of the Short Zone Podcast.
How's it going?
Pretty good. How about you?
Good, good. What do you think? Episode 1 went okay?
Yeah, episode 1 went great,
All the equipment worked? There was no meltdowns? Everything was recording?
Yeah, everything went good. Hopefully this one is like that as well.
Well, hopefully everything went well. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we got mics recording, so...
I can see the waves going up and down. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
So this time we were going to start talking about what everybody in the world is talking about, and that's COVID-19, the coronavirus.
Yeah, the global pandemic.
It's crazy.
It is. It really is. In the beginning, before spring break of school, so like the first couple weeks of March, no one really thought it would get to this point. No one thought...
It was just kind of a little bit, people were talking.
Yeah, it was kind of flu. Nobody really knew. And then...
They were starting to say, maybe think about washing your hands more.
Yeah, in school, we had like a tutorial. We all had to watch a tutorial on how to wash our hands and how to do it the proper way. And,
What is it? How long are you supposed to take to wash your hands officially now?
Yeah, we were told to A, B, C, D, do all that. Or the Mary Had a Little Lamb. But, it went from watching tutorials in school to not having school pretty quick. So
for me, the big day was March 14th. So I'm not sure if that was an official day or anything, but that was your first day of spring break, right?
Yeah.
So for our family, that means both you and Mom are home. So for spring break, you guys are both home. Mom's a teacher, right? And you being out of school. So mostly I had been working from home. Before that, the home office, I worked from home maybe half the time anyway. And then I have my office downtown. And so I remember that day on the 14th specifically because I gathered up my laptop, threw it in my bag, and I was going to head into the office because your guys' first day at home for spring break. I didn't want to... I get more work done at the office when you guys are home because you guys get to enjoy spring break, and I always want to enjoy things with you, and I don't tend to get as much work done. So I thought I'd go to the office. And I remember Mom saying that morning, I got my bag, and I was just about to walk out the door, and we had the news on, and Mom kept saying, they're saying you shouldn't go in. They're telling people not to go to the office if they don't have to. Why would you? You don't have to. You got everything set up at home. So we flipped on the news that day, and it was like all day long we were getting told to stay home if we can, try staying home. And so I didn't go to work from March 14th until now. I haven't been to the office.
Yeah.
Actually, I lied. Sorry, I went once last week.
Yeah, just to pick up a couple of things. But no, yeah, that was kind of the day that was like, well, I guess spring break's kind of not happening, not going to be hanging out with friends or anything.
Yeah, it was crazy. You normally, of course, for spring break, we would be doing stuff, family stuff, hanging out. You'd have your buddies over.
Yeah, hanging out with buddies, camping, stuff like that. Nothing. We stayed home. And we've still been staying home.
We pretty much had the news on 24/7 in that first week because it was just, I don't think anybody could believe what was happening.
Yeah, real shocker. You're watching the news, but
I mean, you watched Italy and those countries that it hit first, and the crisis they were going through, and how it was spreading to, coming to North America, and it was like they kept saying, "Stay home, stay home," and then I can't remember when the official stay home. Like I don't know, it was never really an order, but highly recommended here in Canada, where they said, "Everybody stay home."
Yeah, it was never an order, but highly, highly advised that you stay home. And if you are in contact with or are a person of susceptibility to anything like this, definitely stay home. And I mean, obviously we wanted to stay safe and stay healthy, so.
They started closing businesses down, I think, the following week.
Yeah, the bars and
restaurants, anything where there was public.
Yeah, malls, all that kind of stuff.
Almost everything that wasn't essential service was closed down.
Yeah. Parks and stuff, like all that kind
Playgrounds.
Yeah.
Like it shocks me that they closed down that kind of stuff. You don't even believe that could happen here.
And luckily with us, we've got 2 acres, so we're not confined to an apartment, so we can go around outside, throw the ball. Like, we have a...
Every once in a while, as I get older and more feeble, sometimes there's days when I think, we should just sell and get a condo. It's hard to keep up with the yard work and do things and get things done. And I am so grateful that we had a bit of space during this because, like you could go out and hang out outside and throw the ball for the dog or...
Yeah, and we have a fire pit, so I've even had a couple friends over, social distance firing, just to hang out around the fire, just to see and hang out with people. But
that was only fairly recently for
the first
couple months. We definitely didn't do anything.
2 months or so. We were really...
Just us three.
Yeah.
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 Three of it.
I cannot wait for this to be over. Yeah.
Even groceries. We have all of our groceries. We found out that we could get them delivered. And shout out to 49th Parallel. That's our local grocery store. They, if you have any kind of disability or issue, they would allow you to get food delivered.
Yeah, elderly, disability,
yeah.
Anything that would be of harm to you, you can get them delivered. And I think they offer that service before COVID, right?
I think so, yeah. And if you spend over a certain amount of money, the delivery was free if you live in the neighborhood close. And it's easy when you're grocery shopping. If you do it once a week to go over that minimum, that was never a problem.
Yeah, never a problem for us. It's a really good service, and it has helped us a lot.
Yeah, and as much as possible, just supporting local businesses is so key.
Yeah, definitely. You got to be supporting your local businesses in times like this. Amazon can go for a while without needing people to buy products constantly, but your local tech shop it's gonna need your help, and do everything you can to...
I mean, we are Amazon shoppers too, but we try and only use Amazon for this pandemic when we couldn't get it delivered by somebody locally.
Yeah, and I mean, for us, like, another thing that was really hard for us is masks. Yeah. So when we need to go into a store to pick up something and we're wearing those masks, we have enough hard time breathing on our own. So breathing with that mask on, I can't do it, and I know you can't do it very long.
It's crazy to think that stupid little mask, just the simple, the one that what are they called? The N95 masks. And it was funny because we had been working in the shop. Remember, you were building the man cave?
Yeah, building the man cave.
With your buddies?
When we were cleaning it out, and it had, like, all the dust and rats and stuff like that. So we had those masks previously from that project.
That was funny because it was about a month into it. Everybody was talking about the shortages of masks everywhere, that and toilet paper. And I remember thinking, wait a minute, we bought some masks for the kids when they were working in the shop. And I went out there and I never thought they would be the N95 masks. And we had a box of, I think there was 10 of them in the box. A couple of them were used. And then we thought about donating them to the hospital, but we thought, well, we might as well keep them and the boxes open, so I don't think they would have...
Yeah, they wouldn't take them if they were open.
Right.
Or so potentially used, which I totally understand that. So, but I mean, it worked great for us because now we've got masks, and for the times that we do need to run into the store, it helps for sure, and it's definitely a protection, but yeah, we just can't do it for very long.
And I was shocked because I should have grabbed it, but that little oxygen reader, because I have a real hard time with my lungs the last probably 5 years. And when I get sick or I get a lung anything, I just lose all, I don't have enough oxygen. So it becomes a real problem. So I have this little oxygen reader that you can put on your finger, right? Yeah. So I put that little mask on and I can literally watch my oxygen count drop when I put that mask on. I can see the numbers just go down, down, down.
Yeah, and just for clarification, like the average person has about, 98?
Yeah, 99
to 100 is the average oxygen levels. And I mean, you've been down to 60, 65 in your worst of times. So, I mean, that's half of what a person will need.
You know, like I think on a good day, or good for me is about 85. Really good at rest is about 90. That's as high as I could ever get. And I mean, the odd time a little higher when I don't move. But as soon as I walk to the bathroom or something, I drop down to 85. And yeah, with that mask on, if I had to put the mask on and walk around a little bit, I would drop right down.
Yeah, for sure. And I mean, for me, I'm healthier in that way for lungs and stuff.
You got youth on your side.
Exactly. So I average 98, 99. Not 100 all the time, but like high enough that it's sustainable.
Yeah, it's been a crazy time. It's just so much that I remember even you see video from people in China wearing masks. I mean, you've seen that for years, and you just don't believe that it's going to happen here in Canada.
You never think of that kind of stuff.
But I'm really proud of our government. It doesn't matter who you vote for. Even all the parties have been pretty much on the same side of...
Yeah, nobody's pointing fingers or...
There hasn't been any partisan politics brought into it.
No conflicts or like...
So we're getting, our orders from the Prime Minister down to each Premier is on the same page. They're all trying to do the same thing. And I find that refreshing. I mean, you watch the States and it's a gong show.
No, I know. It is crazy, the States. How divided they are. You're either totally in quarantine and following every guideline and restriction, or you just think it's a hoax and you're not doing anything.
And they have, like, each state is left on its own. There's no continuity. It's like some states are, following guidelines and other states are opening up completely.
No, I know. It boggles my mind how they're so divided. Like,
I know.
Like you said, here in Canada, every province is doing as much as they can, and they're working together, and they're...
Yeah, Conservative, Liberal, NDP, we're kind of all on the same page.
Exactly. Everybody's doing the same thing and doing as much as they can to preserve this spread. But, it like, even the protests, I think, they're totally, like... Protests, I totally support it and understand. But you look, and there's not a lot of social distancing.
No, none.
No masks, and like I said,
and yelling and screaming and...
Yeah, I know. And
think of all of that just going out there.
Granted, it's outside, so it is a lot better. But yeah, no, like the Trump rally. I mean, you had to sign a waiver saying that if you get COVID-19, you can't sue me.
Yeah, he says, "Oh, there's no such thing. I don't believe in it. Blah blah blah. It's overblown. It's all media."
But just
you
in case,
sign this waiver if you're coming.
Just in case it is actually real.
Yeah.
You might want to sign this waiver just so I can't get sued. But
no, I wanted to double check it. I shouldn't even talk about it because I hate fake news and all that so much. But so he had just had a rally in Tulsa, and there was something about TikTok users.
Yeah, I don't know the full story. I mean, it hasn't come up on my TikTok feed, but just from that one or two news things I saw, they were just trying to
buy up all the
tickets or register, because you could only... I don't even know if you had to pay.
Oh, okay.
But you just register to say that you're going, and they'd only take a certain amount of registries.
Right.
So for all the people that support Trump and wanted to go to that rally, they're out of stock, right? Or
it was full. They said it was full. Yeah.
Yeah. But...
Well, one vote for TikTok then.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
No, but we haven't had. We've had some of the recent issues that the states are going through. Some of that has spilled up into Canada, and there's been some protests. Luckily, not a lot, and hopefully, people seem to be much more mellow and keeping their a little bit better with social distancing. And yeah, we just don't want. We got so many crises going on right now. It's like. It's crazy.
It really is, yeah. I mean, we had a local protest here, and I saw pictures. We didn't go, but they're social distancing. They were
wearing
masks, and families were all 6 feet apart.
Yeah, everybody was staying a distance. That was at the local when I saw that.
Yeah, and it was really well organized, and it showed a message.
Sure. Yeah. Other than the news, we've been... lots of good thing we got all the the streaming channels, Netflix.
Yeah, Netflix, YouTube, Prime, all that, Disney Plus,
Crave.
Yeah, they're really coming in handy right about
nice.
Now.
Yeah, we've had Netflix all along, but even the other ones we got a fair bit of use over the last couple months.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I've been playing some video games with my friends just because that's the best kind of socialization while doing the same thing. So
Yeah, you've I've that's the one thing I've missed probably. It's right up there. Is you always used to have two or three or a couple of your pals over quite often.
yeah,
I miss having that. I like having the guys around to bug your guys, your group.
yeah, me too. And even the man cave. We were gonna work on that, work our asses off, so we'd have it done before my surgery. And I mean, now we can't even work on it.
I know, and you should tell people what the man cave is. It's
Yeah. So if you haven't, don't follow me on YouTube. We're turning the upstairs of our shop, of my dad's shop. We're turning it into a hangout man cave spot for me and my buddies. And it's gonna be great. We've got some good plans going. And
it's probably half done. You guys probably have it half.
yeah, we got the walls up. We got part of the floor done. We still have to put the laminate floor down, paint it, and obviously bring in like the TVs and stuff. But we're getting close. I really wish we could have worked on it before I had surgery though. But I mean, I totally understand why we can't, and the risks are too high. But
Yeah, we didn't want to let everybody get in that little. It's kind of an attic space, right? It's in the shop, so it's you're confined. It's enough room for a bunch of guys to hang out, but it's still a confined space.
yeah, it's just not a safe space for social distancing and
Not
stuff
right
like
now
that.
at this point
Yeah.
until we figure out vaccines or something.
Yeah, something. Or even, we just cut off where we are. I'd be fine with that. Just cut off the ferries, just isolate our
Oh, the island. I know,
Yeah,
I know. It's if we could just isolate the island, it would be nice.
it would be. But, I mean, the people would freak if they couldn't get their Amazon Prime package in 24 hours. Oh, no.
I mean, as far as regions go, we on the island, our numbers have been really, really good
Yeah,
for
really good.
infections.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's been a crazy time in school. Like you're done now.
Yeah, I'm done grade 10. So,
But
see how that goes.
They took when this happened, and they decided after spring break. So there was 2 weeks, right? And then spring break's over, and then I think the teachers took another week to try and figure out how they were going to deliver the rest of the school year because school was going to be it was shut down.
Yeah, and even my high school, I don't know if it was all high schools, but I know Mom's school, she started a week before me.
Right.
And I mean, I'm high school grade 10, so I'm kind of surprised about that. But I think it took our school a bit longer to kind of get their feet back under themselves and figure out how they're going to be teaching. And I really feel for like all the students that have heavy courses like math, pre-cal,
Right, it would be
physics,
hard.
chemistry, learning stuff like that online. I know for me, I wouldn't be able to do it or wouldn't be nearly at the level I would be.
I know some courses
class.
would be way harder than others. I mean, if it's something where they can just assign you something to read or something, right? You can do that at home or anywhere. But
Yeah, I've been lucky this semester. I had not math. I had French, English, careers, and leadership. I mean, so those are all classes that are all doable online. French was a bit tough, but I got through it pretty good. And then English, I'm not an amazing student in English. I do good, but no, I guess I do good. But
you did pretty good.
I did good, yeah. It's just harder. It took a lot more time to do English than it would in a classroom when you can't get that one-on-one support.
Right, because you can't like instantly ask a question and get a
Yeah,
feedback from your
you
teacher.
email your teacher and it takes a couple hours to respond.
And everybody's trying to figure out how this new digital age is going to work. And
Definitely, and it would be really tough for high school teachers that have multiple classes of different grades. Imagine having 4 classes and kids from every class emailing you questions every day. So I definitely see how hard it would be. But I mean, we got through it and ended up being pretty good. I know most kids are done in my friend group, or the most people that I've talked
all
to.
their assignments are in and they're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of got in a groove after a week or two of figuring it out. Mom set up her office for teaching in the loft
Yeah.
above the living room, and you set up your space and office for working in your bedroom mostly.
Yeah, painted it, reorganized it, added a desk.
Yeah. And then I set up our den here for this space for my office, which kind of was already done. I'd worked here quite a bit. So, so we each had a space. We were very lucky that way.
Yeah, no, it worked out good for us, actually. And I mean, we have always had the technology that we needed to do this, so we definitely weren't lacking in that department.
Yeah, I mean, it must be hard for families that can't set up as easy. That would be, or if you had like 4 or 5 kids and everybody had to set up their space to work and all of their laptops. I really feel for them it must have been very difficult. I think we're on the upswing. Hopefully the numbers keep staying down.
Hopefully, yeah. I really hope I get at least some of my summer. I mean, I think 99% of my summer is going to be written off for recovery, but from my surgery. But I hope, for everybody else that the restrictions are lifted a little bit. I mean, for the most part, they have. Like, everything's been kind of pulled back, but still.
Our biggest worry was your surgery. Now, at this point, we didn't want to get sick at all because your surgery is very important, and it has been delayed already once.
Yeah, up until now, we didn't know if we'd get a call tomorrow or a week from now or a month from now. You never knew when you were going to need to drop everything and go, because my surgery, at a certain point, it's not going to be an elective surgery anymore.
Right, because it's to do with your spine, and as your spine curves more, the potential is it's going to damage the spinal cord.
Yeah, and I mean, when you have a 90-degree curve in your spine, at a certain point, it starts, you get symptoms, you start tripping or losing feeling.
You lose feeling, like I remember that when I went through it, and like 90 degree, I mean, people got to realize, most people when they have scoliosis, or think, oh yeah, I knew somebody that had scoliosis, and I mean, some teenagers have it, but it's usually like, 10 degrees, 12 degrees, like 90 degrees. That's like a 90 degree bend.
Yeah, my spine literally looks like an S.
Yeah, because you've got it bending in about 3 different directions.
Yeah, lordosis, scoliosis. If it ends in osis, I've pretty much got it.
Yeah, so hopefully we'll get all that fixed up in the coming month, July.
Yeah, hopefully, and I think I'll be able to get a large amount of correction from it as well, which you didn't, but
then you'll hopefully we'll get the some podcasts out before then, and then I think even while you're recovering, we'll get a few out when you're...
Yeah, once I'm recovered a little bit, I think I'll be able to do the podcast no problem, and that's what's so great about them is, they're not less energy, they're just less physical energy.
Physical, for
to
sure.
Produce. We're not carrying around a camera and doing the cool transitions and the...
moving lighting. And...
Yeah, exactly, and while I love doing that and always will... And that's my favorite type of filmmaking, is doing that type of vlog. It does take a lot of energy.
It does, and then you have to redo a couple shots and
for sure,
back it up and take another angle. And no, I see. I've been a part of a few of your videos and helped or watched, and I can see the energy that it takes. And most people don't even think of that, right? It's but every step wears on your body much more than it would an average person.
Definitely. And another thing is, you always looked at me funny or never totally understood carrying around my big camera with my microphone, my Joby Gorilla Pod with the flip out screen. Like, I mean, that's heavy. Like, that's
totally
4 or 5 pounds in itself. And that on its own is hard carrying around for us.
I know. I always tried to encourage you, use your phone, just use your phone. And
I know, and I'm just obsessed with the ability to change the frame rate, change the ISO, that kind of stuff, just for complete customization of the picture.
I know you can't. There's a lot of those options that aren't available on your phone. I get that,
right.
For sure.
And I mean, maybe I could cut down a little bit. I don't need that pristine quality all of the time, but I really enjoy it. But like, even driving a Segway while vlogging, that is one of the hardest things, because not only are you worried about falling off your Segway like you normally would, but you got a whole camera that's all your life savings into it. So, I mean, it's definitely not an easy thing to do.
And people, actually, we haven't even talked about our Segways. I mean, we both live on a Segway, right? All the time. We use them for getting around. That is our mobility. And you're right. You're, carrying cameras that are really expensive, and you've worked really hard and put all your money into, and, you've got a light in one hand, a camera, now you're driving on a Segway, and you know, hit
yeah,
a pothole or something. And
Yeah, everything goes, right? And yeah, Segways, that's another thing. Like, and we'll probably do a whole episode on them. But
for sure. I mean, it's been our legs for years, right?
yeah, like it's been literally your legs since I've been around, pretty much.
Yeah.
And my legs since, well, I think I got my first one in grade 3. It was a white Rob Step M1.
Yep.
And I mean, at the time, it was amazing, and it provided we with so much
Freedom.
Yeah,
Independence.
exactly. That's the whole thing that we advocate for them. Is I had an EA, a permanent EA, in the beginning of school because I couldn't get out to the playground when I was younger. I couldn't walk that far during recess. I couldn't go to the library on my own very well.
Part of the issue is getting to the playground.
That's what I mean, yeah, because by the time I got to the playground,
You're
I
wiped.
wouldn't be able to do anything there because I'd need 30 minutes to rest.
Yeah.
So that Segway provided me with the ability to keep up with my friends, to get to the playground and actually mess around and go on the swings, climb the monkey bars, whatever I would do. And that's why they're so amazing, because they've been our legs ever since then.
Yeah, no, that's an episode on its own, I think, is mobility, and they have changed our life for sure, and I can't imagine being without them.
Yeah, and looking back now, not having them, we wouldn't be able to do a quarter of the things we do.
I don't imagine there's many people driving around with 2 Segways in their back of their Jeep, like, all the time.
Yeah, literally, and having 10 Segways at their house. I mean, we've got a Segway for everything.
Yeah, I got one, you know, I go get wood in, right?
You got one for camping. You've got one that you use outside, the same one as camping. You got one that's good for indoors, one that's good for kind of both. You know, like, we literally have everything.
A little bit of overkill. Some of them are older ones. We've
Right.
replaced. I mean, you don't need that many, but
Yeah, you definitely don't need that. It's just what we've accumulated over the years. And I mean,
it's like a guy that likes cars or something. He's got like 3 or 4 cars. It's,
yeah, exactly. And I mean, you look at the advancements from the first Segway you've ever had to the ones we're driving now. It's
night and day.
yeah, it is. And I can't wait for that episode to get into more detail about them. But
That probably, yeah, we should do one whole one on mobility and
yeah, and
that
the
would be the
differences and everything. And I think that would be a good episode and informative. And yeah, I think that would be a lot of fun to do that one.
maybe the next one, we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Speaking of that, we are getting pretty close to 30 minutes here. So
Should we cut her off then? It was,
yeah, I think so. I think we're about ready to wrap it up. And yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this one as well.
no, that's another one. We got 2 under the wrap so far. And I mean, the lights are still on, so it worked.
Yeah, it worked good, I think. And everything recorded.
We'll see. Edit it all up and see how it comes
Yeah,
out.
see how it goes.
Okay, no, this is a good one. Thanks for tuning in, folks, and follow us. Follow us.
Yep, follow us on all social media platforms. Go to our website.
Yep, our website and social media are in the
Description down
description
below.
below.
And, like we said before, always send us feedback at Caden Tonight for all social media platforms.
Yeah, or at Jim Tonight. And yeah, if you want to know something in particular or want us to cover a topic, yeah, write us, send us a message. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, for sure, and I hope to hear from you guys. All right. Thanks for tuning in to the Shore Zone Podcast. If you haven't already, make sure to check out our YouTube where all these video podcasts are featured. If you like what you heard and would like to continue your support, please check our Patreon. And also make sure to follow all our social media at The Short Zone. My name's Caden Tonight, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.